Alright YouTube, Graybeard here for Just Go Backpacking. Wanted to do a quick review on the Alpine Summit trekking poles. I think it's kind of a timely review because some of the Facebook groups, the company is offering promotions. One of the things they are offering is they were offering some folks the opportunity to get the product for free in return for a review. We saw something similar to this last winter with Foxelli with the headlamps. They weren't free, but they were $3 or so for the headlamp in return for a review. So I think relatively common for some of the companies in the outdoor industry, the kind of up and coming, trying to get a foothold. So anyways, quick disclaimer, did get it for free in return for a review. So we will take a look at it. I got them yesterday. First thing, I know some folks got kind of caught up in a scam with a Tokes cup that was being offered for $1 a couple of months ago, and it turned out to be a scam, and a lot of people lost the $1, and probably not so much the $1, but the worry about what happened to your credit card and things like that. But first things first, not a scam. It went through Amazon, got the product in 2 days, I believe. I know it came a day earlier than was estimated. First impression of the product, it's a really nice looking pole, nice colors, nice graphics. On it is the Alpine Summit SNT, I believe, SNT. Could be SMT, but nice graphics. It does have a cork handle. Doesn't go all the way up. There's a plastic at the top, and then there's a foam cushion down at the bottom. Has the wrist straps. There's really no padding to them, but they seem like a decent quality to it. They're adjustable. Decent tips on them, and the locks seem decent. They're adjustable. They have several markings on here to keep track of the heights that you keep them at, and it gives you a warning stop for how far to pull them out. They seem to lock pretty decent. The locks tighten by hand. I don't think you can get any kind of tool in there. It looks like they tighten by hand, and it's kind of a plastic knob here. So I weighed these guys compared to my REI. They're kind of tricky to weigh without getting them resting on the table, but I think we got them at just 8.9 ounces. 8.9 ounces, and my REI Traverse poles that I've been using for a couple of years are coming in at 8.9. So the exact same weight. It's odd. The Alpine Summit feel lighter, but same weight. So again, it seems like decent construction. We're going to take them out on the trail. They do come with, you'll see a couple of the different baskets and the rubber tips. So they did come with that. They come with instructions if you've never used poles before, how to adjust them, how to lock them, and they do have some warranty information. I didn't look up what the warranty is, so I'm not sure what that is, but I'd say my experience with them so far is the shipping was really prompt, came earlier than promised. They did follow up with an email to see if I got them, and they are looking for a review, so there'll be a review here on the Just Go Backpacking channel, and I'll plug one on Amazon as promised. So we'll take these out onto the trail and to see what they look like on the trail, and we'll give you our impressions from there. So you've had my first impressions. Now we're actually out on the trail. We're in the Blue Hills Reservation, just outside of Boston. Beautiful place. Gets a little busy on the weekends, but still a great place to spend some time, get in shape, stay in shape. So we've got the kids out, 3 of us. We have Gadget, Spikes, and combined they're 4 boys. So should be a good day. we've got the new poles. We'll give them a little bit of a field test and see what happens. So I don't know, maybe a mile and a half into the hike. Yeah, almost 2 miles into the hike. Just coming down a descent, and this popped open. I don't know, you know, maybe I didn't have it cranked down tight enough, but it did pop open. We'll see if that becomes a concern. But you know, otherwise they were working fine until that last little incident. So we'll see. I might not have had it tightened properly. Okay, so just by way of comparison, these are the poles that we have out here today. This is the REI Traverse. This is about 80 bucks, I think, for the pair. I've had these for a couple of years. They have, I would say, 200-300 miles on them. They're in great shape, no problems with them at all. Cork handles, but a smooth cork handle. So these are really nice. These are, you know, probably the higher end out of the 4 of them. A nice thick strap, fully adjustable. So this is a really nice pole. Fairly thick. It's aluminum. It's not ultra light, but it's a nice pole. So this one is a staff. This is what Gadget uses. So this is if you just want one pole. This has a very similar handle. It's probably made by the same company because I think it's the REI brand, and I can't recall right off the top of my mind what the company is, but it's the same maker as this. One of the advantages of this is it has grip that you can use in a bunch of different ways. You can grip it on the top, you can grip it down lower. So this is pretty versatile if you prefer just one pole. And this one was, I think, about 60 bucks for just the single pole. This is the Alpine Summit, the one that we're testing out today. I think this is about 30 bucks on Amazon, full price. Today has a cork handle, but a softer cork handle than this. I don't know if it will smooth out over time, but it's definitely a little more soft and rougher than the REI brand. And it's got a little bit of a foam grip here, which I don't know how long that would last before it might start pulling away. And then it's got the plastic up at the top here rather than the cork going the whole way. Lighter weight than these two, but I think some of that is the locks are a little bit less hefty than you'll see on the REI brand. So that's part of it. I think it might be a hair thinner, although I think it's probably give or take about the same. And then I think the hardware here is a little bit different. This is the piece I worry about. This is how you tighten the locks. And as opposed to the REI one where you need a screwdriver, this you can turn by hand, but I'm concerned about this, you know, eventually breaking off, but we don't know until it's been out there for a while. And then the last one, which would be the cheaper of them. So we're looking at 80 bucks, 60 bucks, 30 bucks, and then the outdoor products that you can find in any Walmart. We've got, I think, 2 or 3 guys using these, and I know for a couple of years now, and they're hanging up. You can see Spikes is bent a little bit, but this is like 15 bucks at Walmart, and I know at least a couple of our guys have gotten a couple of seasons out of them. This has the rubber grip, which can be a little tougher on your hands than the cork, and I would say weight-wise, it's comparable. It's probably lighter than the REI's. It's probably in the same range as the Alpine Summit, so but probably about half the price of the Alpine Summit. All right, so just some final thoughts on the Alpine Summit trekking poles. Again, 30 bucks right now on Amazon. Just a little disclaimer, I got them for free in return for a review. We promise not to particularly give them a positive review just because we got them for free, so I just want to get that on record. But you know, I would say the manufacturer would tell you right out of the gate, these aren't necessarily designed for a thru hiker or a trek to Everest Base Camp, but I mean, I think for the everyday day hiker and occasional overnighter, I don't think there's anything wrong with them. They're lightweight, they seem to be fairly well made, comfortable, no problems with that. I think we had one little issue where the lock flipped open, but you know, that could happen to anything, but I don't think that's necessarily a problem with these. So I would say for 30 bucks, if you're not a real hardcore heavy duty hiker, I'd give them a try. If you're looking to do week-long backpacking trips, I would say maybe you want to spend a few more bucks and maybe look at some of the others we showed you earlier on in the video. So I'd just like to add a couple of comments after what we said out on the trail as far as our conclusions on this, and I think some of us are guilty of this. You really have to look at these products based on what they're intended to be. This is an entry-level piece of equipment. It's not a lot of money. For the money you spend on it, I think it's a really good product. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think if your expectations are right, you'll get plenty of good use out of this. If you think for 30 bucks you're going to take this out on the AT or the PCT for 6 months, I think you're probably not going to be happy with it. If you hike a couple of times a month, if you do some of the 4,000 footers like we do, if you do some overnights here and there, I think this will be just as good as any of the other entry-level products you're going to run into. So I think it's worth the money, particularly if you can get it in the next few weeks while they're running any kind of promotion on it. So I would say, go ahead out and grab it. So that's our review. I hope it's helpful for you, and just get out there and just go backpacking.